organization. Like, we was just about to make some trades last week. And I told them straight up, like, yo, that trade helped me. Like, it'll help me right now in my career these last couple of years and stuff. But I've always spoke to y'all from a place of what's best for this organization. I won't stop now.
Yeah.
That's a bad trade. Like, don't do that trade. Like, I disagree with it, although it's going to help me right now.
Yeah.
And so what Klay just did, and nobody will give him credit for.
Draymond Green demonstrates team-first mentality amidst shocking Warriors trade plans. Considering some of his on-court and off-court antics in recent years, one might argue that Draymond Green hasn't always had the best interests of the Golden State Warriors in mind. The veteran forward missed significant time last season due to 2 separate suspensions, which proved crucial in the Warriors' inability to make the 2024 playoffs. However, at his core, Green has had a defining impact on the franchise, contributing far more good than bad as a 4-time champion. The mutual respect between Green and Golden State remains strong, as demonstrated once again in recent trade discussions, where the 34-year-old potentially sacrificed his own future for the good of the team. Draymond Green convinced the Warriors to avoid a bad trade despite immediate benefits. Speaking on the Club 520 podcast with Jeff Teague, Green revealed, "We, the Warriors, were about to make some trades last week," before offering his own perspective on the short and long-term implications. "This will help me right now in my career for the next couple of years. But I've always spoken to you from a place of what's best for this organization. I'm not going to stop now. This is a bad trade. Don't make this trade. I disagree with it, even though it will help me now." Draymond Green. While we can only speculate about the details of the trade, there's no doubt that Golden State continues to grapple with how much of their young talent and future draft picks they should sacrifice for a win-now move this offseason. The Warriors attempted to lure Paul George to the Bay before free agency, only for the LA Clippers to reject all trade scenarios. They are now focused on 2023 All-Star Lauri Markkanen, with a waiting game unfolding to see if Danny Ainge and the Utah Jazz will part with their best player. This isn't the first time Green has spoken to the franchise about a potential trade in the past 6 months. After reports surfaced of Golden State's attempt to make a shocking deal for LeBron James at the midseason trade deadline in February, Green revealed he had advised owner Joe Lacob not to make the move if it involved young forward Jonathan Kuminga. Whether it's the right approach or not, the often criticized Green should be praised for keeping the long-term future of the Warriors in mind rather than focusing solely on his personal interests. Surprising veteran emerges as true replacement for Klay Thompson on the Warriors. With Klay Thompson's move to the Dallas Mavericks confirmed earlier this month, much attention has been focused on how the Golden State Warriors will replace the 5X All-Star. While the 34-year-old had not been at his peak in recent seasons, he remained one of the league's top 3-point shooters and the second-highest scorer on the team. The Warriors quickly signed D'Anthony Melton following Thompson's departure, presenting him as a viable 3-and-D option at the starting shooting guard position. Brandon Podziemski is also expected to fill some of Thompson's production, along with 4th-year lottery pick Moses Moody. Additionally, Buddy Hield, comparable to Thompson in terms of shooting prowess, will try to fill the gap. However, while these players will collectively attempt to mitigate Thompson's absence, it may be one of his former championship teammates who is best positioned to shine in the upcoming season. Andrew Wiggins could be the true replacement for Klay Thompson for the Golden State Warriors moving forward. Thompson averaged 21.9 and 17.2 points in the last 2 seasons, numbers that Podziemski, Moody, Melton, or Hield are unlikely to replicate individually. So, who can step up? Jonathan Kuminga is a possibility, though in a different manner than his now former teammate. The answer might be Andrew Wiggins, who will be eagerly looking to bounce back after the worst year of his career in 2023-24. Is Wiggins the same 3-point shooter as Thompson? No. However, Wiggins plays a 3-and-D role for the Warriors and has been an efficient, high-volume shooter from beyond the arc in previous seasons. In a recent episode of the Club 520 podcast, Draymond Green expressed his expectation that we will have 2022 Wiggs back this year. Much of Wiggins' effort to return to that level should focus on his shooting, which saw a sharp decline last season. It wasn't just about efficiency, though his 35.8% from 3 was below his previous 3 years when he shot 38%, 39.3%, and 39.6% from beyond the arc. More importantly, it was about volume. Wiggins' 3-point attempts per game over the past 5 seasons were 6.2, 5.2, 5.5, 6.1, and 3.6. That last number is a clear outlier, suggesting Wiggins should aim to return to something between 5 and 6 attempts per game, if not more. As a result, the 2022 All-Star scoring should return to somewhere between 17 to 20 points per game, much closer to what he previously achieved and aligned with Thompson's recent output. Additionally, Wiggins remains Golden State's premier perimeter defender, a role Thompson held before his devastating injuries. So, while players like Podziemski, Moody, Melton, and Hield will be crucial in providing valuable contributions next season, Wiggins may be, more than anyone else, the true replacement for Thompson on the Warriors. Warriors face monumental risk in latest Lauri Markkanen trade proposal. The Golden State Warriors are still keen on acquiring Lauri Markkanen, with the Utah Jazz remaining undecided about the Warriors' offer or any competing offers from rival teams. Reports from over a week ago indicated that Danny Ainge and the Jazz have their eyes set on young guard Brandon Podziemski, while the Warriors' offer has primarily focused on 22-year-old forward Moses Moody and a bundle of future draft assets. Golden State Warriors could be taking a monumental risk with latest trade proposal for Utah Jazz forward Lauri Markkanen. Jonathan Kuminga's name continues to loom over the discussions, even though the talented forward is seen as more valuable than Podziemski from Golden State's perspective. It remains likely that their only chance to secure Markkanen involves parting with either Podziemski or Kuminga, leading to a new trade proposal by Brett Siegel of Clutch Points on Thursday. In this proposed deal, Golden State would give up Kuminga, Moody, veteran Kevin Looney, and 3 first-round picks, in exchange for Markkanen and the impressive young shotblocker Walker Kessler. This is undoubtedly a monumentally risky trade for both teams, with Kuminga himself being the ultimate high-risk, high-reward piece. If the Warriors proceed with this trade, the former 7th overall pick's immense talent means it could backfire spectacularly. While it might not be the most probable outcome, Kuminga could very well become a better player than Markkanen in 2 years. Though their playing styles differ significantly, Kuminga's potential to be among the league's top 15 to 25 players is a strong argument. If the 21-year-old surpasses Markkanen, and you've also given up Moody, Looney, and 3 first-round picks, this trade could set the franchise back years. Conversely, if you keep Kuminga and don't trade for Markkanen, you could end up paying an unproven prospect over $150 million on his next contract. This is also a significant risk and could become a nightmare if Kuminga fails to realize his full potential. This contractual situation is why Kuminga ranks behind Podziemski in these discussions. Utah doesn't want to start their full rebuild by committing over $150 million to a player, while Podziemski still has 3 years left on a very affordable rookie contract. Ultimately, strong arguments can be made both for and against this trade based on Kuminga's situation. The true winner of the trade might not be clear for another 1 or 2 years, if not longer. This is the inherent intrigue in such win-now moves, and it's a dilemma the Warriors will have to grapple with in the coming weeks. Warriors signing lauded as best acquisition of the offseason. The Golden State Warriors signing of DeAnthony Melton for 1 year at $12.8 million has already been hailed as one of the best deals of the offseason. However, it appears one of his new teammates might surpass him for that title. While Melton is on a single-season contract to reassess his value as a free agent next year, the Warriors secured longer-term stability with Buddy Hield. The sharpshooter's 4-year, $37.8 million deal includes team and player options for the final 2 years, making it an exceptional value. Golden State Warriors' new sharpshooter Buddy Hield ranked as best value signing of the offseason. Acquired along with Kyle Anderson in a 6-team trade that sent Klay Thompson to the Dallas Mavericks, 31-year-old Hield is now positioned as the primary replacement for Thompson's three-point shooting. This deal is a significant discount compared to Hield's previous 4-year, $94 million contract during his stints with the Sacramento Kings, Indiana Pacers, and Philadelphia 76ers. Over that period, Hield averaged 15.2 points, 4.3 rebounds, and 3.0 assists, shooting 39.2% from 3 on 8.5 attempts per game. In a recent podcast episode ranking the top 10 free agent signings, B-Ball Index's Taylor Wyman placed Hield at the top, calling his contract insane. But he is an elite three-point shooter who has done it in volume and can give you a solid amount of points per game. It just doesn't make sense to me. The value is insane. For years, $9.4 million annually for Buddy Hield going to Golden State? Man, that was a steal. Taylor Wyman, B-Ball Index. Given the Warriors' deep roster, Hield might initially be the 7th or 8th player in the rotation. However, he stands out as the team's primary scorer off the bench, assuming Jonathan Kuminga secures a starting spot. The lack of spacing might also push Hield into a starting role, though Melton or the impressive young guard Brandon Podziemski are currently frontrunners to start alongside Stephen Curry. There's no doubt that Hield's contract is a low-risk, high-reward move for the Warriors. They hope his elite three-point shooting and ability to score off the bench will outweigh any defensive concerns, making him a pivotal player in their quest for success this season.